NLWN-TV now brings you the In the Dugout show. A look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, join us in the dugout.
Good evening and welcome to today's edition of In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's game as the Eau Claire Cavaliers try to stay in the CRBL race as they take on the Tilden Tigers from Casper Park in Chippewa Falls. Now, coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the Tigers. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Pete Bartingale's perspective on today's game in the Pete Bartingale Show. Following that, we'll take a quick look around the Chippewa River Baseball League to see how this game fits in overall in the CRBL race. And also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier Profile. Finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's game from Casper Park in Chippewa Falls. So it's time to get ready for some baseball action, and we'll do just that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. In a few minutes, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will take on the Tilden Tigers from Casper Park in Chippewa Falls. Now, last Wednesday, the Cavaliers just couldn't get the bats going against some very tough pitching as they dropped a close 2-0 decision to the Osseo Merchants. Now, this moved their overall record to 11-7 and their CRBL record to 7-6. In that game, the Cavaliers were pretty much stifled by the pitching of the Osseo Merchants' Luke Eide and Alex Byam, who combined to allow only 6 hits with 9 strikeouts and only 2 walks. The Cavaliers did have opportunities with leadoff doubles in the 7th inning by Gabe O'Brien.
And the pitch. Fly ball out into center field, left center field. It's going to fall in. It's going to get out to the warning track. Hey, guys, you get a free appetizer at Geno's because Gabe O'Brien just came through with a double.
And in the 9th inning by Ryan Venny.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Long fly ball out into right field. That's way back, and it's off the fence. Ryan Vinny's going to check into second base with a double.
The combined pitching of Cavaliers' Lucas Cosley and Austin Getch, despite a little control trouble in the 4th and 5th innings, kept the Cavaliers within striking distance. Now today, the Cavaliers take on the Tilden Tigers, who are mere percentage points behind the league-leading Osseo Merchants. The Tigers and the Cavaliers met at Carson Park back on June 1st, with the Cavaliers coming out on top 9-5. In that game, the Tigers were led by shortstop Jordan Steinmetz, who went 3 for 5, picked up an RBI, and scored a run. Also having a major impact was designated hitter Cole Zwiefelhofer, who went 2 for 5 and scored a run. Now, coming into today's game, leading the way at the plate for the Cavaliers is Ethan Kjellberg, who comes in batting .421. He's followed by Gabe O'Brien, who's swinging for a .389 average. Cooper Kapanke is hitting .366, while Chase Yeager is hitting at .360, and Ben Boda is at .348. Rounding out the Cavaliers, hitting over .300 are Connor O'Reilly and Ryan Venny, who are each hitting at .333, Jaden Nix at .318, and Jackson Vance at .314, while Josh Garcia is at .310. Leading the way on the mound for the Cavs among those pitchers with at least 9 innings pitched is Lucas Cosley. He has a 2-2 record with a 0.29 ERA. He has a whip of 1.19 and an opponent's batting average of a mere 156. He's followed by Austin Getch, who comes in with a 5-0 record and a 2.17 ERA, along with a whip of 1.21, as well as Ethan Kelberg with a record of 1-3 and a 4.55 ERA and a whip of 1.55. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get Cavalier manager Pete Bartingale's perspective as we chat with him on the Pete Bartingale Show. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Time now for the Pete Bartingale Show, where Cavalier manager Pete Bartingale gives us his perspective on today's game. And now, the Pete Bartingale Show.
Once again, we're talking with Cavalier manager Pete Bartingale. And Pete, last Wednesday, the Cavaliers took on the first place Osseo Merchants. The Cavs came up on the short end of a closely contested 2-0 game. Your comments about that one?
Well, that was a tough one. I think in my short Cavalier coaching career, that was the toughest ride home I've had. I thought that was a game we could have won, and you got to give a lot of credit to them. Osseo played really great defensively, and Luke Ide pitched a great game. We were right there the whole game, and just had kind of one inning where I think Lucas fell on that bunt coverage there when he was pitching there, and I'm not sure that was an error on Vance on that one. I'm not sure if that guy might have beat that one out, but that inning got us, and we just couldn't quite get that timely hit that we needed. Definitely had runners on base quite a bit, but we just needed one more hit there, and we just couldn't quite find it. But I think you can take some positives from that game. That Osseo was the leader in the CRBL, and we were right there. So I think that shows that we're getting better, and we just need to play well tonight.
Yeah, in fact, once again, a casual viewer might think it was because of the Cavalier bats falling silent, which has been a problem that's plagued the Cavaliers for a lot of the season. But as I was looking at that game, I was thinking the issue was more the Osseo pitching. You mentioned Luke Ide, and we can't forget Alex Byam also. He came in and finished off that game and just blew the ball right past the Cavaliers. They couldn't touch it. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah, he was on the All-Star team for a reason. Alex was, and yeah, they have a really nice pitching staff, and we just couldn't quite get that timely hit. But to be in the top four and to win the CRBL, you're going to have to face and pitchers like that and go against pitchers like that. So we're capable. It's there. We need to find a way to get in that top four and go after. If we get to that top four, we probably play Osseo that first game, but I think we showed that night that we can beat them, and so we just have to move forward. We can't let that game, the Wednesday night's game, beat us tonight, because tonight's a big one against Tilden.
Yeah, in fact, in just a couple minutes, you're going to face off against the team that's chasing those Osseo Merchants, the Tilden Tigers. They're only percentage points behind the Merchants. Now, the Cavs defeated the Tigers back on June 1st, 9-5. What differences do you expect the Cavaliers are going to have to face this time around?
Well, I think Tilden will be ready for us this time. They moved the game back to 7 o'clock tonight, so not sure why, but they have a nice team. Steinmetz, the brothers or cousins, I'm not sure. I'm getting not all positive on that, but
well,
they're
it's all
great
kin.
players. I know that. Yeah, so they're great players, and they're kind of they're a team that will bunt and drag and then play power in the middle. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, they're a nice team, and we just have to play our best game tonight that we can, because we need this one going forward to the rest of the season. I keep repeating myself, Rick, but I'm just trying to establish that we need this one.
It's
tonight.
a simple story. It's just
Yeah.
not easy to accomplish.
I've been nothing but impressed with the CRBL. It's just every night you play, I mean, to me, a lot of the teams are a little bit of the same. A little bit. It's a tough game. We just need to find a way to get over the hump a little bit and get that timely hit. And we'll get Cooper Kapanke back tonight. That will help us back at first base. And not that
he finally caught a plane that got him here, right?
right. And Pogozinski played great the other night in Osseo, but having Cooper's bat in the lineup will help us a little bit. And I liked Vinny leading off. We all know he's a great hitter, but he's a great fastball hitter. And he was a big part of our game Wednesday night. But I really like him leading off. So I think if his shoulder can stay healthy, I think he's our leadoff guy going forward the rest of the year.
Now, the Cavaliers at 7-6 in the CRBL are only a half a game out of that fourth playoff spot behind the Jim Falls Sturgeons and percentage points behind the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks. The Cavaliers still, for the most part, control their own destiny when it comes to the playoff race because they still have a game remaining with the Sturgeons. But it would be nice to build a little bit of a cushion. Does that add any pressure or motivation for the Cavaliers?
Well, I'd say motivation. I think we know where we're at this point. I thought we came out really determined Wednesday night. I think most of our team Wednesday night was there by 5:30, 5:45, ready to play, and I think that was a real positive sign. And I don't think we're going to be tight tonight. We shouldn't be. There's just a lot to play for, and I think we'll be motivated. And Kellberg will go tonight, and with Vance in relief, and Jackson Faulkner will be in relief too. So we just like you said, Rick, we need to put some more hits together. I think our pitching really has been fine all year, except I think we slipped a little bit against the Bears, that doubleheader there. But that was a cold, kind of wintry day that we just didn't play that well. But all throughout the year, I think our pitching has been pretty well. I mean, Austin Gatch has just pitched amazing throughout the whole year.
Yeah, and he did again on Wednesday. Shut down. I mean, after Lucas came in and pitched reasonably well, but then started running into some control troubles, Austin Getch came in and shut down the Merchants. You got to be impressed with the way that guy's throwing the ball. Yeah,
and I really have, and I hopefully he'll continue to do that, and we'll need him going forward into next year as well. He's just a great guy to have on the bench. He's always positive. It's just a guy that you want on your team. And like I said, there's a reason North pitched him, and I think he pitched the part of their state championship game a few years ago. And I'm sure Bob Johnson saw the same things that we see.
In fact, when he pitches, it doesn't look like he'd be that hard to hit. But as Dan made the comment, we should stand in there sometime and have him throw and see what those hitters are seeing, because there's got to be some kind of movement on that ball that is just handcuffing batters.
There has to be some movement. He comes straight over the top, but he's kind of a tall individual. What is he, 6'3", almost 6'4" there? He's pretty tall. But if you look at one at bat in that game when Austin was pitching when he's facing Ryan Freitag, he made Ryan look a little off there in his last at bat, and you don't see Freitag do that too often. Ryan usually squares up on the ball, so that at bat shows you that Austin's keeping individuals off guard.
Well, Pete, good luck on today's game. Hopefully, the Cavaliers can move into that fourth spot in the playoff race.
Sounds great. Thanks, Rick.
You've been tuned to the Pete Bartengale Show with Cavalier manager Pete Bartengale's outlook on today's game. Stay tuned. More of In the Dugout is coming right up on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to In the Dugout, as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Tilden Tigers. As the CRBL moves into the second half of the season, the CRBL playoff race remains tight. On Wednesday, the Osseo Merchants held on to their first place percentage points lead in the league by defeating the Eau Claire Cavaliers 2-0. The Tilden Tigers remained right on their heels with a 9-2 victory over the Jim Falls Sturgeons, while the Eau Claire Rivermen helped tighten things up by defeating the Eau Claire Bears 8-5. Heading into this weekend, the Chippewa River Baseball League standings are as follows. The Osseo Merchants remained in first place with an 11-1 record. The Tilden Tigers at 12-2 are merely percentage points out of first. Holding down third place are still the Eau Claire Bears, who at 8-2 have slipped to 2.5 games out. Still hanging on to the fourth playoff spot are the Jim Falls Sturgeons, who are 4 games out first. Only a half game behind the Sturgeons are the fifth place Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks with a 6-5 record, only percentage points ahead of the Eau Claire Cavaliers, who are in sixth place at 7-6. The Eau Claire Rivermen are seventh at 7 games out. Tied for 8th place at 3-11 are the Beef River Bullfrogs and the Cadott Red Sox. Rounding out the CRBL standings are the Bloomer Woodticks at 9.5 games back. Yesterday, the Bloomer Woodticks took on the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks in Bloomer, and we'll have the results of that game later during today's game. In other CRBL action today, in addition to the Cavaliers taking on the Tigers, the Beef River Bullfrogs host the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks in a doubleheader at Spangberg Field in Strum, while the Eau Claire Bears travel to Jim Falls to take on the Sturgeons in a doubleheader. The Bloomer Woodticks and the Eau Claire Rivermen square off in a single game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Eau Claire Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile.
Today on Cavalier Profile, we're talking with Campbell Kapanke. Don't confuse him with Cooper, because he's got a lot to prove. That he's might be younger, but he's not necessarily the little brother. Campbell, can you fill us in on your role with the Cavaliers?
Just filling spots in the outfield and just try to fill my role in the lineup, just wherever they put me, just driving some runs and help win.
Now, you had a pretty interesting experience in your very first at-bat with the Cavaliers. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, and it was kind of went by at a flash. I didn't get any at-bats for my college season, so it was my first at-bat all year, but yeah, it was a great experience, a full count home run. It was a good time.
Now, when we talked with your brother, we talked a little bit about he's added some power to his swing. What was his reaction when all of a sudden you made the first round tripper for the Kapankes?
I know he told me right away that he jumped up knowing it was gone right off the bat, and then I remember rounding third, I could see him running out, and right out of the plate, gave me a big hug, and yeah.
Now, how about filling us in a little bit about your family and anybody else that's coming to watch you play for the Cavaliers?
I know both sets of my grandparents come to all me and Coop's games, so they'll always be there, and then same with my parents and occasionally my sister, and like Coop said, the dogs come out here and there. But.
Okay. All right, rapid fire questions for you too. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ooh, cookies.
Which kind?
I like chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. I just made a batch of those not too long ago. Boy, were they good too.
Good.
Your favorite color and why?
I'd say red. I don't really know why. It's just kind of always been my favorite, but
kind of like the hat you're wearing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
I would say ideal one would be speed, but I also like strength too.
Okay. Now, if you have speed and strength as a superpower, you have to have a superhero name to go with it. What do you think that would be?
During high school, one of my teammates always called me Kapank the Tank, so that'd be good for strength.
Yeah, I was going to say, the tanks aren't real fast, but they do have a lot of strength.
For sure, yeah.
Okay. Major leaguer who most inspired you as you were growing up?
Carlos Gomez.
Okay, so I'm assuming then you're probably a Brewers fan.
Yep.
Okay, really good. Favorite TV show or movie?
I'm a big Office fan.
Okay, all right. We're talking with Campbell Kapanke today on Cavalier Profile. And Campbell, when you're not playing baseball, what are we going to find you doing?
I'll be either with my friends or my family.
Okay. All right. And when people watch Cavalier games, where are they going to find you?
Somewhere in the outfield or just chilling around the dugout. But.
Okay. We want to thank Campbell Kapanke for joining us today on Cavalier Profile. Coming up next, more in the dugout.
This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more in the dugout coming right up.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Today, the Cavaliers look to keep the pressure on in the CRBL race as they face the Tilden Tigers. The Cavaliers are only a half a game out of the final playoff spot, so this game could make a big difference for the Cavaliers. Likewise, the Tigers are only percentage points behind the Osseo Merchants for the league lead. Therefore, they would love to have the opportunity to overtake the Merchants, as well as exact some revenge for their loss to the Cavaliers back on June 1st. So the stage is set for some exciting baseball action, and in just a moment, I'll be joining my colleague Dan Petchow at Casper Park in Chippewa Falls, as we'll bring you all the action of today's game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Tilden Tigers. That's coming up next. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a presentation of NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Eau Claire Cavalier baseball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly brings you today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us as we follow the Cavs while they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Long fly ball by Pogo, and it's out of here! A 3-run shot by Anthony Pogodzinski.
And now, out to the ballpark for coverage of today's game.
And good evening, and welcome to Casper Park here in Chippewa Falls. Rick Olson here, along with Cassie Johnson on the computer, and Dan Petchow operating the camera. And we're getting ready to bring you a pretty important game between the Cavaliers and the Tilden Tigers. We had a little rain earlier today. Things are running just a hair behind schedule, but really they aren't too bad. So let me run through the starting lineups for today's game. Once I get all my paperwork organized here, it's narrow counters that we're working with, and so it gets a little bit more difficult. But for the visiting Cavaliers, leading off and playing third base is Jackson Vance. Batting second, the extra hitter tonight, Chase Yeager. Batting third and first base is Cooper Kapanke. He found an airplane that was actually going to get him back here after he missed the game with Osseo because his flight got canceled. Then we have center fielder Gabe O'Brien batting in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth is the pitcher, Ethan Kjellberg. He's also the Cavs' leading hitter. In the sixth spot is left fielder Campbell Kapanke. Batting seventh and catching is Cole Timon. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Mitch Voller. Batting ninth and playing shortstop is Ben Boda. And batting 10th for the Cavaliers, a second baseman, Caden Erickson. On the mound for the Cavs tonight is Ethan Kjellberg. He comes into tonight's game with a 1-3 record. He's given up 23 runs, 15 of which are earned. 29 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's walked 10, struck out 29. His opponent batting average is .277, and he currently sports an ERA of 4.55. For the home team, Tilden Tigers, they'll be led off by center fielder Jordan Steinmetz. Batting second is the shortstop Drew Steinmetz. Batting third is a designated hitter John Shook. Batting fourth is the catcher Dane Wieland. Batting fifth is the third baseman Nolan Byer. Batting sixth is the extra hitter Cole Zwiefelhofer. Batting seventh, the right fielder Ben Steinmetz. Batting eighth, the first baseman Christian Hall. Batting ninth, second baseman Alex Ruff. And batting 10th, the left fielder Lucas Steinmetz. And that's the Tilden Tigers starting lineup. And looks like we now have a scoreboard operator up here. And managers are meeting down at home plate, so we are just about ready to get things started. And I'll tell you what, while they continue their talk down on the field, let's take this time out, and we'll be back with Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I don't remember how it started.
What's that?
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
And we're back here at Casper Park as the Tilden Tigers are warming up as we're getting ready to get things started here in this game. This is a pretty critical game as far as the CRBL is concerned for the Tigers. They're only percentage points out of first place, and or at least coming into today they were. And of course the weather probably played havoc with games earlier today, so I don't know if Tilden or if Osseo got their games in. But Yeah, they'd sure like to get a victory and take over that first place spot if possible. And Cavaliers are half a game out of the playoffs, and the teams right above them keep switching places. But I'm taking a look at the schedule as we speak, which means I have to scroll way down. Let's see. They have no scores yet listed for today. Beef River and Chippewa Falls, they got to the 6th inning, but we're ready to get things started here with Jackson Vance leading things off for the Cavaliers. Vance comes into the game batting .314. First ball is hit foul down the third baseline. No balls and a strike. Vance digs back in. PJ Lakoya on the mound for the Tilden Tigers. He's into the wind and his motion. It's high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You're not that kind of dog. Remember, you're only 5 pounds. So.
And the pitch is high for ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike. And is fouled back out of play, directly behind the plate. Dan over on the camera is ever thankful that he doesn't make the mistake he made the first time he came here. Park has trucked down the first baseline. And a line shot out into right field. And it's caught out there by Ben Steinmetz. Had to go down to his knees to make the catch. That looked like it was going to fall in for a base hit, but no. Ben Steinmetz got there to make the play. That's going to bring up Chase Yeager. Yeager's the extra hitter today, batting .360. Talking to him before the game, and he'd love to get a Yeager bomb going. First pitch is a called strike at the knees. Here's Lakoya's pitch. That one missed inside. It's 1-1. Lakoya winds in the 1-1 pitch. Called strike at the letters. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. We're in the top of the first inning. Here's the wind in the pitch. Line shot straight up the middle into center field for a base hit. Yeager rounds first and holds there as the ball gets scooped up by Drew Steinmetz. That brings up Cooper Kapanke. He had transportation issues back on Wednesday, but he's found a way to get back, and now he's ready to go. There's the pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Cavs have a runner on first. Lakoya at the belt and the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Kapanke comes into today's game batting .366. And the pitch. It's outside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That was Lakoya's go ahead and chase it pitch. Lakoya takes a peek over at first. And the 1-2 pitch. Fly ball out into left center field, and it falls in for a base hit. And they finally get it picked up out there. Yeager checks in at second, and Kapanke has a single. That's going to bring up center fielder Gabe O'Brien. And O'Brien is hitting .359. One down, 2 runners on. Lakoya at the belt. Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. Lakoya checks second. And the pitch. Outside, ball 2. PJ Lakoya looking in for the sign. Goes to the belt. Peeks at second. And the 2-0 pitch. That's high for ball. Oh, he called it a strike. He must have thought it was at the letters. 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 down, 2 on. And the pitch. Called strike over the outside corner. Counts even at 2-2.
Take it. We'll take it, yeah.
Lakoya at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. That one missed outside. Count goes full. Full count to Gabe O'Brien. Vance on first. Yeager on second. Or check that. Yeager on second. And Kapanke on first. Foul ball down the left field line. Well, Cassie, they're popping the popcorn. You can smell it up here. Lakoya looks and fires. High pop up in foul territory. Back is Wayland, and he makes the catch. That's 2 down, and that's going to bring up Cavalier pitcher Ethan Kjellberg. Kjellberg is also leading the Cavaliers in hitting, batting .421. Lakoya fires, and it's high for a ball. PJ Lakoya at the belt. Peeks at second and fires. It's high for ball 2. Campbell Kapanke on deck. Lakoya looks and fires. It's outside, ball 3. Three and 0 is the count to Ethan Kjellberg. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And it's ball 4. Kjellberg takes the walk. And that loads the bases for the Cavaliers with 2 down. Yeager on third. Cooper Kapanke on second. And now Ethan Kjellberg is on first. Campbell Kapanke at the plate. And the first pitch misses for a ball. Campbell's batting .316 on the season. He's playing left field tonight. Here's the wind and the pitch. Chopper fair down to the third baseline, picked up by Nolan Byer, and he races over to third and makes the put out. So for the Cavaliers, no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and the bases were left loaded. We've completed a half inning, and it's the Cavaliers nothing and the Tigers coming to bat. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
love the pizza we get when we go to Gino's Pizza.
That's because Gino's has been voted best pizza in the Chippewa Valley 5 years in a row.
I think it's because Gino's uses the freshest ingredients, premium quality meats, cheeses, savory spices, and zesty toppings, and all served with attention to detail.
Now you're making me hungry. Let's head to Gino's Pizza.
Scott and the rest of the folks at Gino's Pizza would like to invite you to come out and try the area's best pizza. Call about Monday through Wednesday dine-in specials at 715-835-2000. That's Gino's Pizza at 5110 Fairview Drive, Eau Claire, right next to Chaos Water Park.
And we didn't mention that our Gino's player of the game is today Ethan Kelberg. Now, Ethan came up in the first inning and drew a walk. So what you need to remember is when you go out to Gino's Pizza tomorrow, you mention Ethan Kelberg's name, you get a free soft drink. And if during the game today he manages to get an extra base hit, you'll get a free appetizer. We've had that happen 2 games in a row now. And maybe Ethan can make it 3 in a row. As we mentioned before, Kelberg comes into the game with a 1-3 record, but don't let that deceive you. He's been pitching pretty well. In his almost 30 innings of pitching, 29 2/3, he's only given up 15 earned runs. He's walked 10, but he struck out 29. He has an ERA of 4.55. So, stepping up to the plate is Jordan Steinmetz, the center fielder. Here's the wind and the pitch. Strike called. Kelberg winds, and the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Kelberg looking in, and it's fouled back into the screen. Steinmetz went 3 for 5 the last time these two teams met. Back on June 1st. And a ground ball over to first. Throw to Kelberg, and he didn't get there in time. Steinmetz beat it out for an infield hit. That's going to bring up Drew Steinmetz. The shortstop. And Drew didn't play in that game down in Eau Claire. Here's the pitch, squares to bunt, pulls back. Foul ball. I think he's saying it was a foul ball. I'm not sure. Either the scoreboard operator isn't sure, neither am I, to be honest. No, he's saying 1-0, so he evidently didn't get a piece of it. Throw over to first. Jordan Steinmetz back in. Kelberg at the belt, and the pitch. Steinmetz squares to bunt. Kelberg picks it up, throws it over to first for the out.
Good baseball, good baseball.
So it's a sacrifice bunt by Jordan Steinmetz. And it moved, or Drew Steinmetz, it moved Jordan over to second. Brings up John Shook. Shook's a designated hitter. He went 1 for 3 the last time these two teams played. And it's a called strike.
Oh, yes. You know what it is.
This umpire is pretty clear about his balls and strikes. He gives it a good holler. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Slow roller. Kelberg hustling over this time, and the throw gets it. Kelberg drops it. And he's safe at first. In to score comes Jordan Steinmetz.
No.
John Shook is going to get on an error by the pitcher.
He did.
He dropped the ball.
He didn't outrun it. No, he didn't. He didn't.
So no RBI granted on that. Also not an earned run yet. And a chopper foul down the third baseline. This is Dane Whelan, the catcher. 1 on, 1 out. That Shook on first. And the pitch. Strike called. No balls and 2 strikes. Kelberg at the belt and the pitch. And called, third strike. Dane Whelan didn't like that call very much.
Boy, that's a big strike zone.
But that's what happens. Stepping up now with 2 down is Nolan Byer.
Way below the knees.
Third baseman.
Now you know, guys.
And Byer hits a fly ball out into left center field. Gabe O'Brien moves over and makes the catch. And that's the third out of the inning. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 Cavalier error, and 1 left on base. We've played 1 inning. And the score, Tilden Tigers 1 and the Cavaliers nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Back here at Casper Park, a few raindrops showing up on the window of the press box here. We had a bunch of rain a little earlier today, and it's almost a miracle they have the field in playing condition, but they do. As we head into the second inning, due up for the Cavaliers, Cole Tyman, Mitch Fowler, and Ben Boda.
My dad always does. He's not a big drinker. He's taking them to the Dallas game in November.
And PJ LaCoya on the mound. Ball gets thrown down to second base. And that'll bring up Cole Tyman. Tyman's batting average has slipped a little bit. It went down a little after his game down in Osseo, but he's coming off that injury, so it had been a while since he had swung a bat. Batting average is down to 200. Okoye's pitch. Strike called at the letters. Okoye looks in and the pitch. Strike called. 0-2. And a called third strike. Kent Stelter rung him up. As Cole Tyman goes down.
We want to get rained on.
As long as it stays that way.
And we have a little bit more rain starting to come down. Nothing heavy, though. Brings up Mitch Voller, the right fielder. And he hits a pop-up in the infield. Back to make the play is Alex Ruff for the second out.
A lot of pitches through enough pitches the first inning. A lot of pitches the first inning.
That's going to bring up Ben Boda. Boda at shortstop today, batting .348. And the pitch. At the letters, called strike. Kent Stelter does seem to like that high strike zone. And the pitch. And that's a called strike right at the belt. You know, it's okay if an umpire likes a high strike zone or a low strike zone as long as they're consistent with it. And the pitch. That just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Ben Boda, 2 down in the top of the second. And the pitch is high and away. Counts even at 2-2. Cavs trailing 1-0 in the top of the second. 2 down. Lakoya fires. And it's a called third strike. So the Cavaliers go down 1-2-3. We've played an inning and a half, and it's the Tigers 1, Cavaliers 0. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
And we're back here at Casper Park. Rick Olson with you, along with Cassie Johnson, Dan Petchow, and a little bit of rain coming down. Kelberg fires, and it's high for a ball. This is Cole Zwiefelhofer, the extra hitter. Also due up is Ben Steinmetz and Christian Hall. Pitch is over the inside corner for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Chopped foul down the third base line. Two balls and a strike to Zwiefelhofer. Here's the pitch. Line shot to second. Fielded by Erickson. Throw over to first in time. That's going to bring up Ben Steinmetz, the right fielder. He went 1 for 4 the last time these two teams played. And the first pitch to him is a called strike. Now there's enough raindrops on the window, it kind of distorts my view of the game. Pitch is low for a ball. Here's the wind and the fire. Swing and a miss for strike 2. As I look at the radar, Most of the rain has exited the area. A couple little showers over in the Menominee area kind of heading this way. Pitch is high and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. That just missed. Count goes full to Ben Steinmetz, the right fielder. Kjellberg looks in. He winds. And the payoff pitch. Swung and fouled back into the screen. Count holds at 3-2. Kjellberg wheels and fires. And it's a called third strike, and Ben Steinmetz thought he had the walk. And Kent Stelter says, no, son, you get to go sit down. That brings up Christian Hall with 2 down. Hall's the first baseman. He went 1 for 3 and scored a run when these teams played last, back on June 1st. Cavaliers won that game by a score of 9-5. And the first pitch is a called strike. Kjellberg winds and fires. Chopper over to picked up by Caden Erickson. Flips to Kjellberg covering for the final out of the inning. So for the Tilden Tigers, no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've completed 2, and it's the Tigers 1, Cavaliers nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Back here at Carson Park, or no, we're not at Carson Park, we're at Casper Park in Chippewa Falls tonight. You know, every time we come up here, I do that at least once. And Cassie's nodding her head, yeah, there's nothing new for us. Due up for the Cavaliers this half inning, we have Caden Erickson, then back to the top of the order with Jackson Vance and Chase Yeager. Erickson steps to the plate, batting .314. Lakoya fires, swing and a miss for strike 1. Here's the wind and the pitch. Chopper, fair ball, fielded by Wheeland and throws down to first for the putout. It bounced right out in front of the plate and stayed in fair territory. That's going to go back to the top of the order to Jackson Vance, who flew out to right field his first time up on a real nice catch by Ben Steinmetz out there. Pitch is outside for a ball. And the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Coming in is Drew Steinmetz, and he makes the catch. Or check that, that's Jordan Steinmetz. And that's going to bring up Chase Yeager. And the pitch is a called strike. And the next pitch is a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Chase Yeager, who singled to center field his first time up. And the pitch. And it's a called third strike. So for the Cavaliers, nothing across. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. We played 2.5, and it's the Tigers 1. Cavaliers nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Muldoon's Men's Wear, we're the well-dressed men of the Chippewa Valley shop. Whether you're looking for that big day you have coming up, or simply want to look great for a casual night out, Muldoon's is your stop. Let John or one of the other fine staff help you find just what you're looking for, and they'll make sure it looks great on you. What tops off the well-dressed man? One of Muldoon's well-made hats. Whether it's shirts, pants, suits, formal attire, or accessories, and did we say hats? Muldoon's has it for you. That's Muldoon's Men's Wear, 1506 South Hastings Way in Eau Claire.
And we're back here at Casper Park. See, I can get it right. Cassie's smiling like, hey, she's proud of me for getting that right this time. Cavaliers trailing 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Due up for the Tilden Tigers, Alex Ruff, Lucas Steinmetz, and then back to the top of the order with Jordan Steinmetz. So Alex Ruff steps to the plate. He came in as a pinch runner, but didn't have any plate appearances in the last meeting of these teams. And he squares to bunt, offers, well, no, he didn't offer, they're saying. Looked to me like he was offering, but I don't call the balls and strikes, so it's 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch. It's high for a ball. 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch. High pop-up in the infield. Coming in is Cooper Kapanke, and he makes the catch as he falls over for the first out. That's going to bring up Lucas Steinmetz, the left fielder. He went 0 for 3 back in June. June 1st was when these two teams played down at Carson Park. Kjellberg winds and fires. Called strike over the outside corner. Kjellberg winds, and the 0-1 pitch. A little bit high, counts even at 1-1. There's the wind and the pitch. Strike called. One and 2 is the count. Kjellberg winds and fires. Chopped foul on the third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kjellberg's fire. Fly ball out towards left field. And it's foul. One ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch misses outside to even the count up at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Line shot out into center field for a base hit. It's scooped up by O'Brien and back in. As Lucas Steinmetz singles to center. That's going to bring up Jordan Steinmetz, who got an infield single when the throw over to Kelberg covering didn't quite get there in time. Kelberg at the belt and the pitch. Missed low and inside. One ball, no strikes to Jordan Steinmetz. And the throw over to first. Lucas Steinmetz is back in safely. It does get confusing. There's 4 Steinmetzes out there.
I'm leaving, so.
Lucas takes his lead. And the pitch to Jordan is in the dirt. Gets away from Timon, and Lucas heads over to second. Two balls and no strikes to Jordan Steinmetz. Kelberg fires. Line shot right back up the middle. That's a base hit. Lucas Steinmetz rounding third. He's heading for the plate. And he'll score as Jordan Steinmetz singles to center field and gets the RBI.
Yeah.
That's going to bring up Drew Steinmetz. He did a sacrifice bunt his first time up. 1 out. Kelberg at the belt. And the pitch. It's high for a ball. Kelberg takes a peek over the shoulder and fires for a strike. Counts even at 1-1. And throw over to first. Jordan Steinmetz back in. Kelberg looking in for the sign. He's at the belt. And the pitch. Called strike. That one went right down the middle of Water Street. Of course, here in Chippewa, that's a whole different meaning than it is in Eau Claire, because that's a whole different Water Street. And the pitch is a called strike. And Drew Steinmetz goes down looking. That'll bring up John Shook. He got on an error his first time up. Kelberg dropped the toss over to first base as he was covering. And that got Shook on first. Pitch is a little low and inside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 down. Kelberg's up to 50 pitches now in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Throw over to first. Steinmetz back in safely. That's Jordan Steinmetz on first. John Shook at the plate. Kelberg at the belt. And the pitch. It's high. Ball 2. Kjellberg fires. And it's a called strike. 2 balls and a strike. And the throw over to first. Steinmetz back. 2 balls and a strike. 2 down. Steinmetz takes his lead. And the 2-1 pitch. Fouled back, out of play. Kjellberg looking in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Jordan Steinmetz on first. He's got his lead. Kjellberg's pitch fouled out of play on the first base side. Count holds at 2-2. Steinmetz leads off. And the 2-2 pitch. Foul back. Steinmetz was going on that. But Shook makes him make the trip all the way back to first base. Count holds at 2-2. Throw over to first. Oh, that was real close to getting him. But Steinmetz back in safely. Kjellberg looking in. Two-two pitch. Pop up. Cooper Kapanke moving over. No, he gives way to Ben Boda, who makes the catch. And the Tigers go down. They do pick up a run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. So we've completed 3 innings. It's Tilden 2 and the Cavaliers nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Back here at Casper Park. Cavs trailing 2-0 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Cooper Kapanke, Gabe O'Brien, and Ethan Kjellberg due up for the Cavaliers. Cooper singled to left center field his last time up. Here's the wind in the pitch. Swing and a miss for a strike. And it's a called strike at the letters. No balls, 2 strikes. There's the wind and the pitch. Chopper right back to Lakoya on the mound. Throw over to first. And, oh, they got him. Kapanke kind of gave up on the play, and the first baseman dropped the ball. But they do get the put out, 1-3, with some juggling acts going on in between. It's going to bring up Gabe O'Brien. He fouled out to the catcher last time up, and the first pitch is a called strike. There's the wind and the pitch. It's low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dane Whelan behind the plate, flashing the signs to P.J. Lakoya, who goes into the wind in his motion and pitch. Misses for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Chopper down the first baseline, and it goes underneath the glove of Christian Hall, and that's going to go as an error on Hall. But more importantly, it puts Gabe O'Brien on first. And it brings up Ethan Kelberg. Kelberg drew a walk in his first appearance. His walk loaded the bases, but the Cavaliers couldn't cash in. Here's the pitch, fouled out of play on the right side. And the pitch, called strike, right at the letters. Lakoya looks in, and the pitch. It's high for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Called strike to Ethan Kelberg. He goes down looking. That's the 4th strikeout for P.J. Lakoya. And it brings up Campbell Kapanke. 2 down. O'Brien on first. Cavs trailing by 2. And the pitch. Fouled back into the screen. P.J. Lakoya started the All-Star game for the North All-Stars. Here's the pitch. Looper out into shallow right field. Going back and making a falling catch is Alex Ruff for the 3rd out of the inning. Alex Ruff did a pretty darn good job of hanging on to that. And for the Cavaliers, no runs. No hits. There was 1 Tilden error and 1 left on base. So we've completed 3.5, and it's the Tigers 2, Cavaliers nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our next game will be on Tuesday, July 12th, when the Cavaliers travel to Sparta, Wisconsin to take on the Sparta Miller at Sparta City Field. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 7:05 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Tuesday, July 12th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Back here at Casper Park, yes, 2 days from now, we're heading down to Sparta to bring you that game. From City Field in Memorial Park in Sparta. That's an interesting ballpark. I think you came down there with me, didn't you, Dan? Down to Sparta to see that ballpark? No, he hasn't. Okay. But the stands there are kind of dug into the side of a hill. And it's a a skin infield. All right, leading off the bottom of the fourth inning is Dane Wieland. Went down looking his first time up, and the first pitch to Wieland is a ball. Here's the wind in the pitch. And a line shot up into center field, and Wieland's on with a single.
Go.
That's the third hit of the game for the Tilden Tigers, and the courtesy runner is Riemenschneider. Jack Riemenschneider is the courtesy runner. Sure, they give me a name that's a yard and a half long when I only have 3 inches to write it in. Pitch is high for a ball. So I put his number down instead of his name. That works. Riemenschneider takes his lead. Kjellberg fires. Swing and a miss. To Nolan Byer. Byer flew out to center field his first time up. Kjellberg had him way off balance on that pitch. Byer up in the front part of the batter's box. And the pitch. It's high for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kjellberg fires over to first. Wieland is back safely. Or that's not Wieland, that's Riemenschneider. Kjellberg fires. And it's a called strike. Counts even at 2-2. That was a fastball at the knees. Kjellberg looking in. Goes to the belt. And the 2-2 pitch is fouled up. Back. Gotta play. And Dan thought it was going to go behind us, and it went right down in front of his window. That's about 3 in a row now you've missed, Dan. You didn't bring your glove again, did you? Oh, it's in the car. A lot of good that does you.
I did too.
Kjellberg at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing high for ball 3. Count is full with nobody out. Riemenschneider on first. Nolan Byer at the plate. Here's the pitch. Line shot out into left field. Going to fall in for a base hit. Scooped up there and firing into the infield. And coming into third is Riemenschneider. Checking in at second base is Nolan Byer with a double. So the Tigers have runners at second and third with nobody out. Brings up the extra hitter, Cole Zwiefelhofer. Zwiefelhofer grounded to second in his last trip up. Swing and a miss.
Single does it. Here we go.
And that one got Zwiefelhofer, so the bases are loaded. Got some other action going on in the CRBL today. The Eau Claire Bears defeated the Jim Falls Sturgeons. In fact, they swept them in a doubleheader, 7-1 and 15-2. That helps the Cavaliers some. Kelberg at the belt and pitches high and inside for a ball. Ben Steinmetz at the plate, struck out his first time up, went down looking. Nobody out, bases loaded. And the pitch. Strike called at the letters. Riemenschneider at third. Meyer at second, Zwiefelhofer at first. And the pitch. Strike called. Right down the middle of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Chopper out to short. Throw to second for 1. Over to first, not in time. And a run does come in. So that scores Riemenschneider. And Zwiefelhofer was put out at second. Nolan Beyer checks in at third. And Steinmetz grounded into the fielder's choice. 6-4 fielder's choice with an RBI. That brings up Christian Hall. Grounded to second his first time up. Ground ball throwing over to short and then to second to first for the double play. O'Brien to Ryan to Goldberg double play. 6-4-3. And that'll do it, but the Tilden Tigers do score a run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 1 was left on base. So we've completed 4 innings, and it's the Tilden Tigers 3, Cavaliers nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have a lawn with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
And we head into the top of the 5th inning in a game that's moving right along here tonight. Due up for the Cavaliers, Timon, Valor, and Boda. Cavs need to put some runs on the board, which means they need to put people on the bases. And they've kind of been few and far between. Only 2 hits for the Cavaliers tonight. Cole Timon stepping up. He went down looking his first trip up. And a line shot over to shortstop. Drew Steinmetz throws over to first, and they got it in time. They made Christian Hall stretch quite a bit, but it's still a putout. 6-3. It brings up Mitch Valor, who popped out to second his last time up. And Valor sends one just past Beyer out into shallow left field for a base hit. That'll bring up Ben Boda. Cavaliers have been managing to get a runner on every inning. In fact, in the first inning, they filled the bases up. So Valor safe at first. Takes his lead. Boda steps in. Boda struck out looking his first time up. And pop up out into shallow right field. Coming in is Ben Steinmetz. He makes the catch. That'll bring up Caden Erickson. Erickson hit a chopper into the dirt that was fielded by Whelan, the catcher, who threw him out at first in his first trip up. And the pitch is high and away for ball one. LaCoya at the belt. And it's called strike. PJ LaCoya at the belt. And the pitch. And it's called strike over the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And then I have a couple, Sundays that will never work. But Saturdays I have closed, but I can adjust this.
LaCoya at the belt and the pitch. It's high and away. Counts even at 2-2.
And that's what I've been telling people. Just let me know if I can accommodate it. Yes, I will. But I want to work more Saturdays when it's not so nice out.
LaCoya fires. And it's high for ball 3. So it's traveling time for Mitch Voller. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Top of the 5th inning, Cavs down by 3. LaCoya at the belt. Voller takes off. Ground ball to third. Long throw over to first, and they got him. So Caden Erickson grounds out. Third to first. And the Cavs go down with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And we've played 4.5. It's the Tilden Tigers 3, Cavaliers nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Yeah, Dan and I were just talking while we were away for that commercial there. And we know that Cavalier manager Pete Bartingale has talked almost till he's blue in the face to the Cavaliers about being patient at the plate and so on. But when you have a pitcher on the mound like PJ LaCoya, who's throwing almost all strikes, then what you need to do is maybe that's when you have to be a little more aggressive at the plate. Because he's not going to walk very many. He walked 1 so far. Leading off the top or bottom of the 5th inning is Alex Ruff, who popped out to the first baseman Cooper Kapanke. And the first pitch is a called strike right down the middle. Kellberg's pitch count is getting up there. And another called strike. There's Kellberg's wind and pitch. Pop up, back out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. Check swing low for a ball. Alex Ruff at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. High pop-up fly ball out into left center field. A left fielder, Campbell Kapanke, is over to make the catch. For out number 1. Brings up Lucas Steinmetz. who singled to center field his last time up and ended up scoring. Kjellberg's first pitch to Steinmetz is a called strike at the letters. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the wind and the pitch. Ground ball over to short. Boda makes the throw to first, but it's not going to be in time. It's going to be an infield hit.
Way to run, buddy. Way to run.
For Lucas Steinmetz, who's now 2 for 2 on the night. Speaking of 2 for 2, up steps Jordan Steinmetz. He had an infield single his first time up, and then singled to, got an RBI single, in fact, to center field his second time up. Here's the pitch, just inside. Kjellberg at the belt. Peeks over his right shoulder. Swing and a miss. Jordan Steinmetz with a powerful swing, but it got nothing but air. Maybe a few raindrops in the process. And the pitch. Just missed outside. It's raining just to the north of us. Like the north side of Chippewa might be getting some rain. But so far, nothing of consequence here. Kjellberg's 2-1 pitch. Ground ball to Erickson. Check second, throws to first for the out.
Here we go. Got one.
So that brings up Drew Steinmetz as it moved Lucas Steinmetz over to second. Drew Steinmetz is 0 for 1. Had a sacrifice bunt and struck out looking. And the first pitch is low and inside for a ball. Kjellberg at the belt. 1-0 pitch. Low for ball 2. Kjellberg looks and fires. It's in the dirt for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Drew Steinmetz. This will be Kjellberg's get me over pitch. And it's a pitch. Good, missed. He missed with that one. It's ball 4, so Drew Steinmetz draws the walk.
Johnny.
That's the first walk of the day given up by Kjellberg. John Shook steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Got on an error and then popped out to short. And the first pitch is fouled back. No balls and a strike. 2 down. And the pitch. Called strike at the knees. No balls, 2 strikes. Now let's see what Kjellberg has for a go chase it pitch. And the pitch. Chopped foul at the plate.
Swing easy, let's go.
no balls. 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on, and a line shot out into right field. Steinmetz fields it, or excuse me, run comes in to score. Bowler fielded it and then got it back into the infield as Lucas Steinmetz came in to score. As John Shook singles to right. And Drew Steinmetz checks in at third. It makes the score 4-0 Tilden. And the ball gets fouled back.
I got like a buffet table to put like my wax on, and then I got, it has like 2 doors that open, and it's an upper and lower. Home goods, $2.50. It's like exactly what I want. I had like this vision in my head. I could not find, I was searching for like 2.5 weeks out of it.
Kjellberg looks in and delivers. Line shot foul down the third baseline.
Yeah. And so I think I'm actually going to keep it blank.
Dane Wieland at the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. And the pitch, it's a line shot out into left field. It's a fair ball. Kapanke fields it. They get it in, and checking in at second is Wieland. And in to score on that is Drew Steinmetz. That'll make it 5-0. And Pete Bartingale heads out to the mound. 93 pitches so far tonight for Ethan Kjellberg. And we'll see what Pete Bartingale does. He's going to leave him in.
It's far enough away from like the road and stuff like that, but this is a little more peace of mind because I'm going to.
So Nolan Byer steps to the plate, and Byer doubled to left his last time up. Kjellberg has given up 5 runs, 4 of which are earned. And the first pitch to Byer is in the dirt. Blocked by Timon. Runners at second and third. John Shook at third. Dane Wieland at second. Here's the pitch. Just missed low. Ball 2. Kjellberg's pitch. Line shot, and it's snagged by Ben Boda at short. And that'll do it, but not without some damage being caused by the Tigers. They pick up 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no Cavalier errors, and 2 were left on base. So we have played 5 complete, and it's the Tilden Tigers 5, Cavaliers nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
For over 1/3 of its history, Eau Claire has been able to count on the Eau Claire Cavaliers for high-quality baseball excitement. Come be a part of Eau Claire's legacy with your hometown Eau Claire Cavaliers. Home games are at historic Carson Park. To plan your day of affordable family fun, check out the Cavaliers on Facebook. Or go to the Cavalier website at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Helps if I press the right button. We're back here at Casper Park. Rick Olson along with Cassie Johnson on the computer. Dan Petchow on the camera. And we have Cavalier baseball for you against the Tilden Tigers. And the Tigers are currently leading as we head into the 6th inning by a score of 5-0. Cavaliers need to get a little something going. Top of the order, Jackson Vance leading things off. He's flown out both times up. Once to right, once to center. Here's the pitch. It's low for a ball. PJ LaCoya on the mound. Ground ball foul down the third base line. LaCoya's only thrown 53 pitches. LaCoya winds and fires. Ground ball scooped up and bobbled by Drew Steinmetz, and he can't make the play. That's going to be an error on Steinmetz. So Vance gets on an error. Brings up Chase Yeager, who's 1 for 2. Singled to center field and went down looking. Cavs would sure like to get something across the plate in this inning and get back into this game. Yeager steps in. Okoye goes to the belt. And the pitch. It's high for a ball. Throw it on to first. Vance is back in. Okoye at the belt. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Counts even at 1-1. Throw over to first. Vance in safely. Vance is taking a nice lead over at first. A throw over there. Back in plenty of time. But he's giving LaCoya a little something to think about. Maybe a little bit of a distraction. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Vance takes a lead. And the pitch. That's high. Counts even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Vance goes. Throw to second, and they got him. A real nice throw by Dane Wheeland. And Vance, in spite of his large lead, kind of got a late jump on that pitch. Count is full to Chase Yeager. Here's the pitch. Check swing, ball 4. That stolen base, put out on that stolen base, it really hurts now because Vance would be on second. Brings up Cooper Kapanke. Kapanke singled to left center field and grounded back to the pitcher. So he's 1 for 2. Runner on first, 1 down. Yeager takes a lead, and the pitch. Strike called. At the belt. Got the inside third of the plate. McCoy at the belt and fires. Kapanke has to duck out of the way. Counts even at 1 ball, 1 strike. And a called strike. PJ LaCoya plays collegiate ball at Winona State, as does Cooper Kapanke. So collegiate teammates facing off against each other. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And PJ Lakoya got the better of that face-off. That's going to bring up Gabe O'Brien. And O'Brien is 0 for 2. Fouled out to the catcher and got on an error by the first baseman, Christian Hall. Let it go under his glove. Pitch is inside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Lakoya at the belt. And the pitch. Line shot. Foul down the third base line. One ball, one strike to Gabe O'Brien. Our Geno's player of the game, Ethan Kjellberg, is on deck. Lakoya at the belt, and the pitch is high. 2 balls and a strike. At the belt, and the pitch. High pop-up. Right behind shortstop, and they can't get the ball. It got a little bit behind Drew Steinmetz. Jordan Steinmetz hadn't come in and called him off. And the ball falls harmlessly to the ground, and we've got Gabe O'Brien with a base hit to center field. And it moves Chase Yeager over to second and brings up our Geno's player of the game, Ethan Kjellberg. Remember, go out to Geno's Pizza tomorrow and mention Ethan's name. Get yourself a free soft drink. And if he comes up with an extra base hit sometime during this game, you'll get a free appetizer. First pitch was a called strike. Lakoya fires, and Kjellberg swings at a high fastball. 1 ball, or no balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, 2 on. And the pitch. It's high for ball 1. There is some action going on down in the Cavalier bullpen, and I believe it's Jackson Vance warming up down there. And the pitch is fouled back into the screen. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lakoya at the belt, and the pitch. Line shot into right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. It's going to score a run. And Kjellberg checks in at first. Chase Yeager comes in to score. And Gabe O'Brien goes over to third base. That's going to bring up Campbell Kapanke as the Cavaliers are on the board. That's the first run scored in 14 innings for the Cavaliers, because they were shut out down in Osseo. I think they're going to get a courtesy runner out there for Kjellberg, because currently he is the pitcher of record. So they put a little more speed on the base. I think it's Lucas Costley going out there to run for him. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt. Campbell Kapanke, 0 for 2. Grounded to third. Actually, it was a fielder's choice who made the force out at third unassisted. And the pitch is a called strike. And then he also popped out to second. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Cavs have runners on the corners. And the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Be curious to see if they send Costley. Here's the pitch. It's high for ball 3. He'll be going on this pitch because it's traveling time for Costley. Not so much for O'Brien at third, but it is for Costley. Costley takes off, but is fouled off. Costley a little late on that jump, too. It's almost like he didn't realize the situation. Didn't trust his instincts. 3-2. Now Costley goes high, pop up, out into right field. Ben Steinmetz comes in, makes the catch for the third out. So, for the Cavaliers, they do pick up 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 were left on base. So we've played 5.5. And it's the Tilden Tigers 5, Cavaliers 1. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Ready for a better way to bank? Switch to Royal Credit Union. Royal Credit Union is a financial co-op, not a corporation, so we return earnings to our members. That means you get low or no fees for account services and better rates on deposits and loans. You'll also have all the digital tools you need at your fingertips, so managing your account is easy. Royal is ready to help you discover the credit union difference. Switch to Royal Credit Union today at rcu.org/difference. Insured by NCUA.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Back here at Casper Park on the mound now for the Cavaliers is Jackson Vance. Kjellberg went 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, 4 of which were earned on 7 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 3. Jackson Vance coming in. And I'm looking for his information here. He has a 1-0 record, 5.69 ERA. He's pitched 6 1/3 innings, given up 6 hits, 4 runs, all of which were earned, walked 4, struck out 10. Opponent's batting average is .240, and Jackson Vance has a whip of 1.58. Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Tigers is Cole Zwiefelhofer. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. And the pitch is high for a ball. Zwiefelhofer also grounded to second. So he's 0 for 1.
You snooze, you lose.
There's the wind in the pitch. It's inside for a ball. Here's the wind in the pitch by Vance, and it's a high pop-up into shallow center field. Erickson over, and Boda makes the catch. So that's going to bring up Ben Steinmetz. Steinmetz is 0 for 2. He struck out looking and grounded into a 6-4 fielder's choice, but did get an RBI on that. Vance makes the pitch, and it's a called strike over the inside corner. No balls and a strike to Steinmetz. Pitches inside for a ball. Right fielder Ben Steinmetz. Here's the wind and the pitch. Chop foul.
Then he was telling everyone I did it. Yeah. He had a nice print of a baseball on his butt one time.
One ball and two strikes. Jackson Vance into the wind and the pitch. In the dirt. Counts even at 2-2. That was one of those 59-foot fastballs. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Gabe O'Brien circling under it, makes the catch for out number 2. That's going to bring up Christian Hall. Hall grounded to second his first time up and then grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his last time to the plate. So he's 0 for 2. 2 down. Nobody on. Jackson Vance into the wind and the motion. It's a little bit inside for a ball. Hall digs in. Vance into the wind and the pitch. Chopper over to first. Kapanke grabs it, makes the play, and that's out number 3. So Vance retires the side. 1, 2, 3. And for Chippewa, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And after 6, it's the Tilden Tigers 5 and the Cavaliers 1. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I love the pizza we get when we go to Gino's Pizza.
That's because Gino's has been voted best pizza in the Chippewa Valley 5 years in a row.
I think it's because Gino's uses the freshest ingredients, premium quality meats, cheeses, savory spices, and zesty toppings, and all served with attention to detail.
Now you're making me hungry. Let's head to Gino's Pizza.
Scott and the rest of the folks at Gino's Pizza would like to invite you to come out and try the area's best pizza. Call about Monday through Wednesday dine-in specials at 715-835-2000. That's Gino's Pizza at 5110 Fairview Drive, Eau Claire, right next to Chaos Water Park.
Back here at Casper Park, hey, I want to remind you that our Gino's player of the game is Ethan Kelberg, who's now playing third base for the Cavaliers. And you mention Ethan Kelberg's name when you go out to Gino's tomorrow. You get yourself a free soft drink, and if sometime before the end of the game he manages to get an extra base hit, well, that'll turn right into an appetizer. Our friend Ann gets all excited when that happens. She wants to head out to Gino's right away. But no, you got to wait till tomorrow. Cole Timon steps up for the Cavaliers. He'll be followed by Mitch Voller and Ben Boda as we start the 7th inning. Dan made the comment that this game is zipping right along. Of course, you may wish you hadn't said that before it's all said and done. Here's the pitch. It's a called strike. Right at the letters. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. It's high. No. Well, Kent Stelter does like that high strike zone. That was, from here, we have a pretty nice view of high-low from here, and that was clearly high. Swing and foul back into the fence. No balls, 2 strikes to Cole Timon. Timon's 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded out. And that pitch is a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. PJ Lakoya with the pitch. And it's a called third striking. Timon can't believe it. And I'll be honest with you, neither can I. Because both those 2 called strikes, I watched them go above the shoulder as they came through. But as the word is, what is the strike zone? It's whatever the umpire tells you it is. And he's been consistent with this high strike zone all night, so you got to be ready to hit it. Voller hits one out into shallow center field. It's going to fall in, and Mitch Voller's on with a base hit. Voller is now 2 for 3 tonight. And we have a little bit of an injury out there. Looks like Alex Ruff having a little bit of a, pardon the pun here, a rough time with things. Looks like he's going to stay in. In all fairness, I was going to say he's having a rough time before I realized it was Alex Ruff. So it really isn't a pun. All right, Ben Boda steps up. He's 0 for 2. Struck out and popped to right. And the first pitch is a called strike. That's that same high fastball.
No.
Lakoya fires, and it's fouled back into the screen. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. It's Voller on first. He takes his lead. And the pitch. It's high for ball 2. Lakoya looks in for the sign. He's at the belt. And the pitch. That's a high pop-up out into shallow center field. Calling it off is Steinmetz, and he did not make the catch. And let's see which one they're calling out. They're calling Voller out. And so Voller got forced out at second. And it'll be a base hit for Ben Boda. With 2 down, brings up Caden Erickson. And he fouls it back out of play. So Boda at first. No strikes, 1 ball to Erickson. 2 down. And the pitch. That's a ball. Counts 1-1. Top of the 7th. Cavs down by 4. Lakoya at the belt and the pitch. It's in the dirt. Bluff throw back down to first, and Boda gets back. Lakoya looking in. He's at the belt. And the pitch. Line shot out into right field. Oh, and it's snagged by Christian Hall before it can get out there. I thought that was going to get past him, but he reached up and made the catch, and a nice catch by Christian Hall over at first base. And so for the Cavaliers, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 6.5, and you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
And we're back here at Casper Park. Heading into the bottom of the 7th inning, Jackson Vance on the mound for the Cavaliers. And due up for the Tilden Tigers, Alex Ruff, Lucas Steinmetz, and Jordan Steinmetz. Alex Ruff will lead off. He's 0 for 2. He popped to first and flew out to left.
Yeah, it didn't look like it. All of a sudden it got dark at work. She came large.
So into the lineup now is Noah Hansen. He's going to hit for Alex Ruff. And the first pitch is a swing and miss for a strike.
He's not going to stay. I'll hold him.
Hansen contributed to the pitching the last time these two teams met. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Noah Hansen goes down swinging. It's going to bring up Lucas Steinmetz. Steinmetz is 2 for 2. He singled to center field and singled to short. He scored both times. He's had a pretty productive night. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Vance into the wind and the pitch. Line shot out into left field. Campbell Kapanke makes the catch for the out. Two up, 2 down here in the 7th. And takes us back to the top of the order to Jordan Steinmetz. Steinmetz is 2 for 3. Singled to first and singled to center. He's also, well, he scored 1 time and he's also picked up an RBI. Vance with the wind and the pitch. It's a high fly ball to left field. And it's foul. No balls and 1 strike. Vance with the wind and the fire. It's high. Counts even at 1-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. That just missed. 2 balls and a strike to Jordan Steinmetz. Grounded to second his last time up. Here's a hard shot. Took a high hop over Kapanke into right field for a base hit. That's makes Steinmetz 3 for 4 so far tonight. And that's going to bring up Drew Steinmetz, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Check that, it's 0 for 1 with a walk and a sacrifice bunt. He does have a strikeout in there. Pitch misses low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 down. Jordan Steinmetz at first. And the pitch. That one missed. 2 balls, no strikes. Vance at the belt and the pitch. Swung on and foul tip back into the glove of Timon. 2 balls and a strike. Jackson Vance delivers. It's high for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 down, 1 on. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Vance at the belt. The 3-1 pitch. And it's ball 4. That's the second straight walk for Drew Steinmetz. Brings up John Shook, who is 1 for 3. He singled. He also got on by an error and popped out to the shortstop. Vance checking over at second. And the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. John Shook, the designated hitter.
He's wearing his fast shoes, so he should be faster.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Picked up by Boda. Throw over to second, and they say they got him. So you're going to give Shook a fielder's choice. And it's a 6-4 put out. And that'll end the inning for the Tilden Tigers. They pick up no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've completed 7, and it's the Tigers 5, Cavaliers 1. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our next game will be on Tuesday, July 12th, when the Cavaliers travel to Sparta, Wisconsin to take on the Sparta Miller at Sparta City Field. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 7:05 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Tuesday, July 12th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
And we're back here at Casper Park. Cavs trailing by 4 as we head into the 8th inning. Time running out for the Cavaliers. Top of the order is up. Jackson Vance coming up. 0 for 3. Flew out to right, flew out to center, and got on an error by the shortstop. Here's the wind in the pitch. And it's a strike called. Here's the pitch. Foul back out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Jackson Vance. PJ Lacoya with the wind and the fire. And I take that back. Stefan Skatasa or something, I think that's how it's pronounced. And the ground ball over to short, throw to first in time, and they got Vance. And it's outside, or well, it's called a ball. This is Chase Yeager at the plate. And it's a called strike. Yeager is 1 for 2. And it's a pop-up foul out of play. And Yeager goes down. That's going to bring up Cooper Kapanke. Kapanke is 1 for 3. Singled his first time up, then grounded back to the pitcher and struck out. And it's fouled out of play. The numbers on P.J. Lacoya, he had 7 innings pitched, gave up 1 run. It was earned. 7 hits, 2 walks, and struck out 6. Here's the pitch to Kapanke. A looper caught in foul territory for the 3rd out of the inning by Christian Hall. So for the Cavaliers, nothing across in the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and we've played 7.5. And it's the Tilden Tigers 5 and the Cavaliers 1. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at Casper Park. Jackson Vance on the mound for the bottom of the 8th inning. He's thrown 27 pitches so far in his couple of innings of work. Cavaliers got a little bit of help today from the Eau Claire Bears as they knocked off the Jim Falls Sturgeons twice. Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks got to the, I don't remember if it was the 6th or 7th inning of game 1 of their doubleheader before the rains came, and they suspended that game and will make it up right before they play the second game of that doubleheader at a date to be determined.
Yeah, has she talked to you yet?
Jackson Vance winds and fires to Dane Wheeland, and it's a called strike. Wayland is 2 for 3. He's singled and doubled. He scored a run, has an RBI. And the pitch is outside. Actually, he didn't score the run. Riemenschneider scored the run as a courtesy runner. And the ball's fouled back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the wind by Jackson Vance. And the pitch. That's high for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the wind and the pitch. And it's a called 3rd strike to Dane Wayland. That's the 2nd time he's gone down looking tonight. Brings up Nolan Byer. Byer is 1 for 3. He flew out to center, lined to short, and also doubled to left. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's a little bit low. Ball 1. Jackson Vance at the belt. Works pretty much from the stretch. High pop-up into right field. Moving over foul territory. Making the catch over there is Mitch Voller. That's going to bring up Cole Zwiefelhofer. And Zwiefelhofer grounded to second, has popped to short. He also got hit by a pitch, so he's 0 for 2. And evidently there was a fielding substitution we weren't aware of. Out in right field is Jaden Nix. And what was the telltale sign? His hat came off. And it's a strike called. Here's the wind and the pitch. Chopper over to short, Bodum with the play, throws over to first, and they got him. Big stretch by Kapanke, and they made the play. So we're going to head to the 9th with the Tilden Tigers leading the Cavaliers 5-1. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Okay, we head to the 9th inning. Cavaliers trailing by 4. Leading off for the Cavaliers, Gabe O'Brien. He is 1 for 3. Singled his last time up to center field. Noah Hansen on the mound. No, it's not. I knew better than that. I think it's because it's easier to say than Stefan Skitasa. But I keep getting nodded at from the scoreboard operator like I'm getting pretty close, so We'll go with that. Skatasa now has a 2-0 count to O'Brien. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike one. O'Brien trying to take advantage of the hitter's pitch. Skatasa takes the sign and delivers. Fouled back out of play.
What's your dog's name again? Scout, that's right.
What's the name of your dog? Scout. Oh, I thought it was Corky.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike three. Gabe O'Brien goes down swinging. That's going to bring up Ethan Kjellberg. Our Geno's player of the game. This is his last chance to get you a free appetizer. Remember, you've already got a free soft drink coming from Geno's. If you go out there and mention his name tomorrow. Here's the pitch. Inside for ball one. But if he gets an extra base hit in this at bat, this is the top of the ninth after all, but if he gets an extra base hit in it, that'll turn into an appetizer. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
So my dad's like, I will pay for that out of pocket.
There's the wind and the pitch. It's inside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. The wind and the 2-1 pitch. Fouled into the glove. Count goes to 2-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. Line shot out into center field for a base hit. It's not enough to get you a free appetizer, but it keeps things going for the Cavaliers. 1 down. Kjellberg on first. And coming to the plate is Josh Garcia for Campbell Kapanke. First pitch is called strike. And the pitch is outside. Garcia comes into today's game batting .310. And we're going to get a pinch runner. That's Jackson Faulkner running out there for Kjellberg. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. 1 down. Faulkner at first. Garcia at the plate. Timon on deck, hoping to get a shot at this. Here's the pitch. Made me jump that time. It was a foul ball coming right back at us, but it got caught by the screen. Cassie's pointing that out, but I'm looking at it through a window, so I don't see the screen. She's going, you know there's a fence there. I got news for you. If that ball's looking like it's coming back, I don't care if I know it or not, I'm getting out of the way. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. Count holds at 2-2. Skatasa on the mound. Takes a peek over at first base at Jackson Faulkner, taking a pretty big lead. Here's the pitch. It's outside. Count is now full.
Extending the game. Ground ball. Let's go home.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Gabe O'Brien. Oh, no, Josh Garcia. And it's ball 4. Garcia draws the walk. Putting Faulkner on second, Garcia on first. Cole Timon coming to the plate. Tying run will step into the on-deck circle. And that's Pogo coming out into the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. It's low for a ball. We'll have to, if the Cavaliers can catch up in this half inning, we'll have to see how they line up defensively. Of course, if they don't score 4 runs, it's a moot point. Foul back into the screen. No, Dan, it's a moot point, not a moo point. Dan's thinking there's cows in the area or something. We are in Wisconsin after all, Dan. There's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cole Timon steps back in. 1-2 is the count. Runners take their leads. And the pitch. That's low and outside. Count goes to 2-2. Faulkner at second. Garcia at first. Timon at the plate. Here's the pitch. It's high. And the count is now full. Jaden Nix is in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. Inside for ball 4. Cole Timon draws a walk, and that loads the bases and brings the tying run to the plate in the person of hatless Jaden Nix. One down, bases loaded. Cavs trying to get back into this one. Now we're going to have a courtesy runner. That's costly out there for Timon. And the first pitch to Nix is fouled back into the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Now this is where Pete Bartengale's advice about being patient could pay off. Here's the pitch. It's high and away, ball 1. Because Skatasa's struggling a little bit to find the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jaden Nix. Here's the pitch. And that one got Nix, and that's going to drive in a run. So Jaden Nix, hit by the pitch, gets an RBI. As Faulkner comes in to score. And we've got a conference going on the mound. Looks like they're going to leave things as they are. Tying runs on first. With 1 out. So Pogo comes to the plate. Pinch hitting for Ben Boda.
No, he's not. He was pitched before. That's right. Forgot about him.
Skatasa at the belt and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Bases are loaded. Cavs have one in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pogo trying to put the Cavs in the lead on that swing. That 3:15 sign down the right field line was looking pretty inviting to him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Called strike over the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Skatasa at the belt. The 1-2 pitch. That's low in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down. As they say, the ducks are on the pond. Garcia at third. Costley at second. Nix at first. Pitch is outside. Throw down. No, bluff throw down to third. Garcia was back in safely anyway. And the count is full to Anthony Pogodzinski. Here's the pitch. Grounder right back to the pitcher. He bobbles it, tosses it to the plate for 1. Throw to first. And they got Pogo on the double play. That goes as a 1-2-3 double play. And that'll end the game. So the final score is the Tilden Tigers 5, Cavaliers 2. The Tigers had 5 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors, and the Cavs picked up 2 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. And the winning pitcher tonight is P.J. Lakoya, losing pitcher Ethan Kelberg. And we'll have more about tonight's game after this timeout when we get to talking baseball. And you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching NLWN-TV's presentation of Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're back here at Casper Park. And the Cavaliers come up on the short end of a 5-2 decision to the Tilden Tigers. That'll even up the Cavaliers' record in the CRBL at 7 wins and 7 losses. And the Tigers, well, I knew what it was coming into this game, and now I don't know. So I will find out real quickly. Somewhere around here I will. I've got this information. And let's see what my handy-dandy machine. So the Tilden Tigers go to 14-2. And the Cavaliers are 7-7, and they are tied with the Jim Falls Sturgeons. The Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks are at 8-5. So the Cavs have a little bit of catching up to do in the CRBL in order to get back into the playoff hunt. But they struggled again at the plate, stringing hits together. Nobody had an outstanding night at the plate for the Cavaliers, maybe with the exception of Ethan Kjellberg, who went 2 for 3. And I'm looking, well, actually, Mitch Voller also went 2 for 3. And that's it as far as people with multiple hit games tonight. And so the Cavaliers really struggled. It's not that they pitched all that badly. Kjellberg did get deep into counts, but the difference was the Tilden Tigers were able to string together hits at the right time. Well, very shortly, we will have Cavalier manager Pete Bartengale coming up to join us, and we'll talk with him about this one, and we'll do that right after this timeout. You're tuned to Talkin' Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Oh boy.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How was it? Is it good?
Back here at Casper Park, Rick Olson, and joining us right now is Cavalier manager Pete Bartengale. And Pete, you come up on the short end of a 5-2 score. You got some hits tonight, but you just can't seem to put the combinations together and have them come in a string.
No, and that's been kind of the issue all year. So I told the guys we just got to battle the rest of the year and try to get back here for that regional here in Tilden's hosting. So, yeah, we just need to find a way to get a collection of hits together at times, and that's been a problem all year.
It looked like you were going to manage to do that there in the ninth inning. You had some things going on and just couldn't quite get it all at the same time.
Yeah, I thought Pogo might hit one out there. I mean, he was frustrated.
He took a swing at it like he was trying to.
He did, and I know he's frustrated and played tonight, but we got a lot of guys that want to play, and he'll.
And
be
not
back
that Pogo doesn't want to play. He's a all-in player, but he's just been struggling at the plate a little bit, and maybe a night off isn't such a bad thing.
That was my thought. I thought Voller had a nice game coming back. His family had COVID, so he's just came back tonight and played a little bit.
Well, he was one of your two leading hitters.
Yep.
You had Mitch Voller and Ethan Kelberg both going 2 for 3 tonight, but otherwise it was a hit here and a hit there, and boy, oh boy, it's tough to get anything going when that's happening.
Yeah, we just have to find a way to score more runs here in the last half of the season, or it's if we can get into that WBA tournament, that'll be great. But we just.
But right now, you got to just put some wins together and see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we got Bloomer twice on Sunday, and
the Eau Claire Bears did you a bit of a favor. They knocked off Jim Falls twice today.
Okay.
And so you are now tied with Jim Falls. The Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks are probably a game and a half ahead of you or thereabouts. They had a game suspended today, and a second game rained out, and so the weather played a little bit of havoc with that. But that'll happen on occasion. It'll get made up, and it'll all... And Ryan Page sticks his head in and waves at us, and the Cavalier Trust from a year ago, and he'd be struggling with this season as well. You've got good ball players, but just getting things put together all at the same time is coming hard right now.
Well, every gamble on the card we play seems to backfire on us a little bit. We in that inning when it was bases loaded, nobody out, we kept the middle infield a little back. And if we would have kept him in, that he probably would have thrown that guy out at home. But we gambled for a double play, and we couldn't quite turn that double play. So, but all we can do is keep moving forward and win as many games as we can going down the road. But we certainly have to hit a little bit better.
Yeah, and you had Jackson Vance trying to steal second, got put out, and
that wasn't my call. I talked to Jackson after that.
But and then lo and behold, it was either the next pitch or 2 pitches later.
Next guy walks,
and so he'd have been on second anyway.
And I talked to him between innings. I mean, we just can't do that.
You got to understand the game situation a little bit. You need base runners, and going from first to second isn't nearly as important as getting the bodies on base, because other things will happen then.
Yep, there was no steal sign. He went on his own, so I certainly talked to him after that, and that's.
Although he did have, what was funny is he had a great lead all the time that at bat was taking place. He was drawing throws from Lakoya over to first, so you could tell he was on Lakoya's mind. And then when he decided to go, he got a lousy jump.
He didn't even slide. He was out by that much.
Yeah.
I mean, So I know Tilden was questioning why he ran, and so was I.
Oh, well.
Yep.
Hey, we're going to have a ball game down in Sparta, except you're not going to be there. You're going to be off in Kentucky. Now, you're not chasing down the Moonshine Trail, right? You're doing...
Well, after tonight, maybe. No, I got to go down there for a 3-day class for work, so I'll be down there till Thursday morning, and I'll be flying back, but I'll be at the weekend game, so...
But we'll get Ryan Bemminster to come and talk with us after the game. We'll have a little chat before the game and set things up for that game and see where we're at.
Sounds good, Rick.
So 7-7. The only place to go is straight forward and try to get into some kind of playoffs at the end of the season.
Yep, we still got a shot. We just got to go after Sunday with everything.
All right, and we'll do that. And you're tuned to Talkin' Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
but I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
And we're back here at Casper Park. Rick Olson with you, along with Cassie Johnson on the computer. And Cassie, if you can reach down there and grab that mouse that escaped from us, if you could be the cat and do that for us without clicking it, because I think it's about to do something like send me off the air or something. But there we go. I think we're in good shape now. But Cavaliers come up on the short end, 5-2 to the Tilden Tigers. Cavaliers picked up, or the Tigers had 5 runs on 8 hits, and they committed 2 errors. Cavaliers 2 runs on 8 hits, and only committed 1 error. Winning pitcher in tonight's game was P.J. Lakoya. He went 7 innings, gave up both runs. No, I take it back. He gave up 1 of the 2 runs, and he was relieved by Stefan Skitasa, who gave up the other run to the Cavaliers. Losing pitcher Ethan Kjellberg, he gave up all 5 runs for the Cavaliers in 5 innings pitched. 4 of the runs were earned, and he was relieved by Jackson Vance, who went 3 innings, didn't give up any runs, only 1 hit, only walked 1, struck out 2. Pretty effective job by Jackson Vance in relief. Hey, join us Tuesday on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV as we bring you the Cavaliers traveling down to Sparta, Wisconsin. And they're taking on the Sparta Miller from Memorial Park in Sparta. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock with the In the Dugout show. Notice that's about a half hour later than usual, followed by live play-by-play action from Memorial Park in Sparta. Our next Cavalier home game, that'll be broadcast on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, audio service and NLWN-TV, will be on Wednesday, July 20th, as the Cavaliers host the Jim Falls Sturgeons on Sports Talk Radio 105.1 and Micon Cinemas Night at Carson Park. Live coverage will begin at 6:30 with the In the Dugout show, and live play-by-play starts at 7 o'clock. There's also a doubleheader that we will carry at Bloomer coming up in between those games that we just talked about. The Eau Claire Cavaliers want to remind veterans of the United States military that they can get a lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games simply by coming to Carson Park with your veterans identification, and the Cavaliers will be very happy to issue you your lifetime pass. It's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service. I want to remind you that today's Geno's Player of the Game was Ethan Kjellberg. So stop out to Geno's Pizza tomorrow. Mention Ethan's name and you'll get a free soft drink. He did not get an extra base hit, so it doesn't get to turn into a free appetizer, but you do still get a free soft drink. And that's at Geno's, which is out near the intersection of Highways 93 and I-94 on the south side of Eau Claire. Today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game is brought to you by Geno's Pizza, right next to Action City, and voted best pizza in the Chippewa Valley 5 years in a row. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for the Chippewa Valley. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Callista Salon on Water Street in Eau Claire. Call 715-864-5332 for a reservation. Muldoon's Menswear on Hastings Way, where the well-dressed men of Eau Claire shop. And Royal Credit Union, where they're different in a good way. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. For Cassie Johnson on the computer and Dan Petschow on the camera, this is Rick Olson. Final score once again, Tilden Tigers 5, Cavaliers 2. You've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Talkin' Baseball, a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.